Hello and welcome to my 2023 Game Awards. Now, if you don't know what the Game Awards are, basically they're like the Oscars but for video games. In fact, I made the exact type of video last year, so feel free to check that one out after you watch this one. Though before I get started, I will say a couple of things. Number one, these are the game categories for this year, and these are the games that could win one of these awards. And feel free to pause if you'd like to take a closer look at this before we get started. Number 2. For a game to qualify to win an award, I must have played it between the time frame of January 1st to November 25th of 2023. Number 3. I will not be counting any sort of replays, so it has to be a game that I played for the first time this year. And number 4. I will count games that I have yet to finish, however, just a heads up, they're probably not going to win any awards. And if I do finish them next year, then obviously they'll have a chance to win an award that year as well. Anyways, without any further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, so the first category that I'll be taking a look at is called Best Comfort. This category is for a game that I could relax and unwind to from a busy day. And the nominees are Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Miles Morales, Tears of the Kingdom, and any of the Uncharted games. And the winner is Tears of the Kingdom! Woohoo! Now, let me tell you, this game was very fun to relax to. This might be the first game in a long time that I enjoyed where the story is barely even relevant, where you just focus on the gameplay and exploration. I had lots of fun doing the shrines, fighting enemies, getting more health and stamina, and I kid you not, I was one of the 5 people who actually liked exploring the depths. Now, our second category is Best Music. And the nominees are Final Fantasy XVI, Like a Dragon Gaiden, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed. And the winner is Future Redeemed. Let's go! Now, I'll be completely honest, unlike last year, I wouldn't say any of these games really moved me by its music. However, if I had to pick one, I will say Future Redeemed does take over the edge, therefore it's gonna win this award. Now, if you are curious, my favorite song from this game has got to be Future Awaits, which is also the ending theme.
With or without Mobius, nothing will change.
Niall?
In the end, people always kill people.
I heard about that from Melia. A gift from Alvis, she called it.
This it?
Yes. The Liberator's base of operations.
Alrighty, the next category is going to be Best Visuals / Art Style. And for this category, you don't have to have the most realistic graphics, but it just has to be a style that I really liked, which could be super cartoony or super realistic. It just depends on which game does it better overall. The nominees are God of War Ragnarok, Like a Dragon Gaiden plus Lost Judgment Kaito Files, Spider-Man 2, Tears of the Kingdom, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed. And the winner is Gaiden and Kaito Files, aka the Dragon Engine. Now, you might be wondering why there's 2 games attached. Well, it's because both use the same engine, except in Gaiden it's slightly improved. And the thing is that the Dragon Engine, my god, this is one of the best looking engine that exists right now in my opinion. I would argue and say that from its inception in Yakuza 6, it already looked amazing, and now it looks even better. I would go as far as to say that this is very comparable to last year's winner, which was FF7 Remake. Okay, moving on to the next category, which is Best Story. And the nominees are Lost Judgment Kaito Files, Like a Dragon Gaiden, Spider-Man, The Last of Us Part 2, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed. The winner is Future Redeemed! Now, I'll be honest, I didn't enjoy the base game of Xenoblade 3, so I went in expecting not to really like this game as well, but boy, was I wrong. Now, I won't dive into spoilers as to why this game is really good, But what I can say is that I believe this game manages to conclude the Cloud Saga very well, and I think if they had launched this DLC alongside the base game, I think I would have loved Xenoblade 3 as a whole. Anyways, moving on to best gameplay. The nominees are God of War Ragnarok, Like a Dragon Gaiden, Lost Judgment Kaito Files, Spider-Man, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed. And the winner is... Spider-Man! Oh my gosh. I cannot express in words how much I love this game's gameplay. The swinging is fun, the combat is awesome, and the boss fights are super spectacular and very cinematic. This was also one of those rare games that made me actively want to do all of the side content. Yes, you heard that right. Falto wanting to actually do side content? What the heck? Well, there is a reason why that is the case, and it's because I was in love with the core gameplay loop. And as such, I did more and more side content just so I can experience more of the same core loop. However, gameplay wise, I do have one small teeny tiny complaint. And it is that the DLC is kind of trash in terms of gameplay. That's because I feel like they've padded it out, and as such it makes it worse. By padding, I don't mean they just added more side content to do, no, like just the core gameplay just feels a lot longer and a lot more stretched out. Whereas in the base game it was like a healthy pace basically. Nevertheless, I still would give Spider-Man the best gameplay for this year. Okay, so the next category is going to be my favorite character. The nominees are Kiryu Kazuma from Yakuza, Kaito from Judgment, Kratos from God of War, Nathan Drake from Uncharted, and Rex from Xenoblade. And the winner is... Nathan Drake! Honestly, this was a bit hard to pick because I was considering either Kiryu or Nathan. But I chose Nathan Drake because he has that charm to him that I really enjoyed. And honestly, it's tough not to love him. Like, I've yet to meet one person that actively hates Nathan Drake. And yeah, I'm not kidding. Everyone likes Nathan Drake. He's funny, he's goofy, and his personality fits very well in the games that he's in. Okay, moving on to the next category, which is my favorite waifu. The nominees are Jill Warwick from Final Fantasy, Nile and Glimmer from Xenoblade, Yuna from Eternights, and Zelda from Tears of the Kingdom. And the winner is... Yuna Wahoo! Now, before I even played the game, I started to already like her because of the trailers, and when I played the game, it just reassured me that yes, indeed, she is the best girl from this game. Like, there's nothing not to love about her. She has a cute appearance, her voice is very nice, and she has a very, very charming personality. And that's not even to mention that she's supposed to be a famous idol or pop star, which, if you know me, that is my type of character. Now, full disclosure, I haven't finished this game yet. However, from the amount I have played, I can reassure you guys that she is indeed my favorite waifu for this year. Moving on to the next category, which is Best Well-Written Characters. The nominees are God of War Ragnarok, Uncharted 4, Spider-Man, Future Redeemed, and Like a Dragon Gaiden. The winner is... Like a Dragon Gaiden! Now, I won't lie, it's gonna be a little hard to explain without spoiling this game and the previous entries, as it kind of relies on you playing that, but anyways, I'll try my best. The first thing I'll say is that I can't help but associate Gaiden and this video's thumbnail and title. Now, speaking a bit on the actual characters themselves, let's talk about Kiryu for a second. You can feel his sadness in his words and his actions. You also see that Kiryu must suffer so that other people can have a happy and safe life. Well, actually, maybe not happy, but at the very least, a safe life. So it really shows that he's very selfless, and it makes you feel sad as you wish Kiryu can also be happy, but due to things outside his control, he must sacrifice his own happiness for the greater good. And not only Kiryu is goated, but so are the other characters, like the side characters and even the villains. I think they're all pretty cool too. Especially near the end, when you've played all of the Yakuza games and then you play this game will hit hard, and I mean very hard. Alright, moving on to the next category, which is probably going to be controversial, and let's pray that it does not age restrict this video, though I don't think it will. The category is Best Horny, and the nominees are Like a Dragon Gaiden, Ether Knights, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed. The winner is Future Redeemed once again. My only explanation for why I picked this game is one character, Nai. The next category is going to be Best Open World / Best Open Area. And the reason why I said open area as well is because this category will not be limited to proper official open world games. It will also include games that might be linear, but they just have like a nice open area in them. The nominees are Tears of the Kingdom, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed, and Spider-Man 2. The winner is, without a doubt, Tears of the Kingdom! Now, something about me. I'm more of a guy that likes a linear story, who likes open maps. So, for example, Grand Theft Auto is the best example as it's a very linear game, it just has an open world map on it. So going into this game, I did not expect to like it. This game has so many things to explore, so many enemies to fight, and so many items to collect, and I believe the depths just increased that exponentially. Moving on to the next category, which is most underestimated, and to clarify what that means exactly is that this is a category for a game that I did not expect myself to like, but surprisingly I enjoyed it a lot. The nominees are Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed, Tears of the Kingdom, and Uncharted. And the winner is Tears of the Kingdom! Just like I mentioned in the previous category, I did not go expecting to enjoy this game. Mainly because I did try Breath of the Wild and I wasn't a big fan of super open world games. However, when I played this, I was like, what the hell, this is awesome. Moving on to the Best RPG category. The nominees are Ether Knights, Like a Dragon Gaiden, Lost Judgment Kaito Files, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed. And the winner is Gaiden once again. Now, I'll be completely honest, I barely even played that many RPGs this year, so I just ended up listing 5 that I did not hate as the nominees. But the 2 that stand out the most, I would say, are Gaiden and Future Redeemed, where Gaiden just has a slight edge over the Xenoblade game. I spoke a bit on the character and story as to why that this game is peak. However, this game's gameplay is also fantastic, where I gotta say this is the best brawler style as it is the most refined we've seen yet. And that's right, I'll say it, this gameplay is better than what we had in Lost Judgment, which was also fantastic. The next category is going to be Best Action Adventure, and the nominees are God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and Uncharted 4. And the winner is The Amazing Spider-Man! Honestly, if there was a game that I would say is great all around and dare I even say quote-unquote objectively peak, I would say that's Spider-Man. For example, it has a good story, great gameplay, and fantastic side content. And not to mention the visuals are also gorgeous. Now, you might be asking, are there any flaws? And the answer is yes. I think all games have flaws, and just like that, this game also has flaws. Like, I wish the music was better, and like the DLC was also better. However, for the most part, I'd say that this game is awesome all around and peak. The next category that I'll be taking a look at is the best shooter, and the nominees are Control, Tomb Raider, The Last of Us Part 2, Uncharted 2, and Uncharted 4 Lost Legacy. And the winner is Uncharted 4 Lost Legacy! Okay, for this category, let me explain a little bit of backstory. So before I played The Last of Us last year, I wasn't really a big shooter fan with the exception of GTA on PC. And not to mention with a controller? Poof, hell no. Anyways, then I tried The Last of Us and really enjoyed it. And then I also tried Uncharted, and then I enjoyed it even more. And that, my friends, is how I started to love third-person shooters. And from the Uncharted series, I have to say the newest installment is probably the best one, as not only it has a good story, but its gameplay is also very refined. And another reason that I'll be giving this game the award is that this series as a whole has taught me how to actually play shooters with a goddamn controller. Alrighty, now I'll be moving on to a special type of award called the Most Anticipated of 2024. This category is different because instead of looking at games I played this year, I'll be taking a look at games I am most excited for next year. So the nominees are Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, Like a Dragon 8 Infinite Wealth, Rise of Ronin, and Stellar Blade. And the winner is Infinite Wealth! Over the last few years, I have grown to love and appreciate the Yakuza series a lot. The whole series is peak, and even the worst games in the franchise, they're not that terrible and you can really enjoy them. And the other reason I'm very excited for 8th is that the way Gaiden sets it up, my god. This game might win my Game of the Year 2024. I don't know, I mean, I'm just speculating, but that's how much excited I am for it. I would like to give an honorable mention to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, as I am very excited for that, as well as Remake was one of my favorite games from last year. Alrighty, moving on is going to be the best series. And just like last year, I will only limit to the series of which I've played about half or more of the mainline games. The nominees are God of War Reboot, Spider-Man, Uncharted, Xenoblade, and Yakuza / Like a Dragon. And the winner is Xenoblade. The Xenoblade games are very special to me. Xenoblade 2 started it all with an emotional ride that blew my mind away. It was also my first JRPG, you could say, and as such, it's very special to my heart. Xenoblade 1 had an amazing main character with an awesome twist along the journey. And while Xenoblade 3 I had a rocky start with it, I am going to be giving it another chance, as in my opinion it does have the potential for the deepest lore, it's just execution which it was a bit lacking in. And Future Redeemed did a fantastic job, so yeah, Xenoblade is my favorite series. Alrighty, moving on to the next category, which is the Chill Castles vote. Alright, so for this category, I'd actually asked you guys in my server to vote for a game that you want to win Game of the Year. And on a quick side note, if you haven't joined my server already, please feel free to do so, the link will be down below. The nominees are Final Fantasy XVI, Like a Dragonation, Like a Dragon Gaiden, Tears of the Kingdom, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed. And the winner is Future Redeemed! Now previously I mentioned that this game's story is fantastic, however what I didn't mention that time is the gameplay is also very fun. And as such, as a whole package, I believe this game is one of the best games I've played in 2023. My only wish is that I wish this was Xenoblade 3, not the base game that we got. Just kidding, I was only being half serious. But yeah, I do wish at the very least that they released a whole Xenoblade 3 package as one game by potentially delaying the base game to when Future Redeemed was ready. Alrighty, we are finally at the last award for tonight, and it is Game of the Year. I am very excited to show you guys, so here are the nominees. Like a Dragon Gaiden, Spider-Man, Tears of the Kingdom, Xenoblade 3 Future Redeemed, Lost Judgment Kaito Files, and the winner for Game of the Year is Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed! Now, I won't lie, picking a winner this year was not easy at all. For a while, I genuinely was not sure which one to pick as each of them did something great in their own way. Spider-Man was a game that I felt was objectively great all around. Tears of the Kingdom was a breath of fresh air for me. Gaiden was a beautiful masterpiece, but Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Futures Redeemed broke me. Now unfortunately I won't be able to reveal why exactly, as that would require spoilers, but I will say there was a certain scene where our party goes to a new location and a certain radio plays something very interesting on it, hehehe. Additionally, last year I mentioned how I wasn't the biggest fan of Xenoblade 3 due to me not feeling it had too many quote-unquote hype scenes. However, this game had them, and it filled the gap that I had been yearning from Xenoblade 3. Not to mention, this game included Shulk and Rex, which I enjoyed a lot. I do wish we got a bit more context as to how exactly things ended up being in Future Redeemed from Xenoblade 1 and 2's ending. In other words, I would love to have Xenoblade 2.5. But unfortunately, Takahashi is blueballing us by keeping us in the dark. In the end, it's not the end of the world, as what they gave is pretty fantastic. In conclusion, this game is small size, but it sure packs a punch greater than the base game, I would argue, and that is ultimately why it is my game of the year. Last thing I'll say is I am a bit curious as to see how the series will go on ahead, as the Cloud Saga is over, so they can pretty much do anything, to be quite honest. So, there you had it. That was my Game Awards. I hope you enjoyed this video, as this was very fun to make. And last thing I want to say is, I know, last year I did not upload many videos, but this year that is going to be different. Right now I have many projects planned in the pipeline, so stay subscribed so you won't miss out when they come out.
Subscribe to the epic Falto, or else I will use Sacred Arrow and Burning Sword on you and your entire family.